I'm looking back at these band-assisted jump sets from the previous session, and I have been scribbling down a lot of numbers, but I don't really think that they matter in the end. What I am seeing is a slight improvement in the way that my feet are making contact with the ground. My right foot does not seem to be that much earlier in touching the floor, and I did notice that there used to be a bit of a jerky movement in my right heel as the uneven touching was kind of making a bit of a difference in adapting to the ground force and springing back up. I don't know if that's going to lead to some gains in terms of jumping efficiency, but trying to iron out all the bugs may be beneficial overall in terms of injury prevention. This is something that I was mentioning already the previous time. So let's see how things go. As I was going into the next set, I was also doing some stuff for the upper body. Again, 10 kilos plate on my back, and I was going up to 12 reps on the first set, and then I did 10 on the second one. I am working in a 2-to-1 reps in reserve. The first set, I think I had 1. The second set, I might have had 2, but I don't really want to do too many extra reps from one session to the other, because it's just going to potentially lead to a plateau if I'm rushing the progression too much. And there is no rush anyways, so I might as well take my time and slowly and incrementally increase. Speaking of increments, the second set here, technique-wise, it looked good. I was spending a bit more time on the floor, and I wasn't really getting that much more benefit in terms of air time. Couple of jumps were below average, but I'm noticing that in the air my body seems to be behaving better. There is less of a bending at the hip, there is more control, less twisting sideways, so I am slowly getting the hang of it. And I was noticing that also with the approach jumps, I seem to be behaving better in the air. The only thing is that I still tend to look, if not straight down, just in front of me, and I might be benefiting by just looking up and seeing where I'm going, just to straighten my thoracic spine and really take off and go up, because the idea of jumping is to go as high as possible. So these little changes and cues could probably go a long way in making me improve overall. And this is the other upper body superset, which I think is very well devised, because I'm able to go from one exercise to the next without much rest, and the intensities are very well managed, and overall they're all fun exercises. This is the last set of the band assisted jumps, and I think that this is the better looking one, and more consistently better looking. I am spending okay time in the air, I'm quite quick off the floor, and overall technique seems decent. So I think I'll still call this progress, because technique takes such a long time to refine, and I'm noticing that there's also a bit of an improvement in technique when I'm looking at these weighted jumps. In here maybe I extended backwards a bit too much, but it's because I'm really focusing on getting low and explode up as quickly as possible. In recent past, I was kind of taking extra time in this, and I think that this affected the overall springiness that I'm able to develop. The quicker that I'm able to get down into a loaded position, and the quicker I can spring back up, is probably translating into better air times. And this is what I have seen, because I was in the high 500 milliseconds, and the next set, the one coming up, there's going to be one that I measured, although imperfectly, at 600 milliseconds. It's this first one here. It doesn't look like much, but I was very quick, and I was probably maybe getting a bit of an assistance from my elbows bending and the weight giving me extra mass to move. And then when I'm jerking it back down, that also simulates the way that I am swinging my arms back down as I'm doing an approach jump, a full approach jump, where I'm extending the arms fully overhead, and then I am swinging them back down. That provides extra force that propels me upwards. It's cool to see how these little adjustments actually end up making a bit of a difference, and I have noticed that. So let's see what the next time brings. Ciao.